So I came across this story 2 days ago, and I it was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time before something like this came up. I mean, this this is not surprising to me at all. Hundreds. This is from Sky News. Hundreds of young trans people seeking help to return to original sex. I mean, this was so predictable to me. No one. Here's what we need to understand. These people mentally are unwell, and so they go off their unhealthy mental state, and they say, they have these certain feelings and urges, and they're like, you know what? I want to transition. Okay, so mentally they're unstable because they think because here's what they need to understand. The problem is internal, and you are changing what's on the outside. If I bake a cake and let's say instead of using, let's say I'm supposed to use milk, obviously, okay? And instead of using milk, I use let's say I use vinegar. The cake on the inside is going to have a problem. When it comes time to eat the cake, no one's going to want to eat it because it's not going to taste good. It doesn't matter how much frosting I put on the outside of the cake because the problem is internal. I mean, this was just so expected. So a woman who detransitioned in 2018 says there are many people who have had gender reassignment surgery who wish they hadn't. This kind of goes back to a topic that I had earlier, in an earlier episode, concerning what did I talk about? Oh, where I talked about when are you held responsible? At what age are you held responsible? So if your brain stops developing at 25, and you have people who as kids, you'll have some parents raise their kids as they'll raise them without a gender, without a sex. No, I'll say without a gender. And you have some who say, you know what, I want gender reassignment surgery. But their brain's not even fully developed. So should we change it? Should we change these laws to make it to where they have to be 25 so they really understand what they're doing to their bodies? Because I mean, this is serious stuff. Just think about gender reassignment surgery and all that pizzazz. You are physically changing your bodies. You're having things cut off, mutilated, inverted, and just your body's undergoing serious changes. Are you sure you want to do that? Okay. Hundreds of young transgender people are seeking help to return to their original sex. A woman who is setting up a charity has told Sky News. Charlie Evans, 28, was born female but identified as male for nearly 10 years before detransitioning. Okay. So there we go. She's 28, so you have 3 years of her brain being fully developed. But for 10 years, so when she was 18, she identified as male. Okay? The number of young people seeking gender transition is at an all-time high, but we hear very little, if anything, about those who may come to regret their decision. There is currently no data to reflect the number of people who may be unhappy in their new gender or who may opt to detransition to their biological sex. I'm going to say this. As I've said multiple times before, I am no expert on any topic at all. I'm not. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. If the problem is internal and the problem is in the mind, I can't imagine causing physical changes, doing, artificial physical changes and alterations to the body is going to fix the problem. Because deep down, you're not that thing. If I'm a guy, I'm a guy, and let's say I think, you know what? I want to transition to being a woman. I transition to being a woman. Okay? Deep down, after I do all whatever the process is, hormone therapy, surgery, all of that. After I go through all of that, in my mind, there's still the paradigm that I have that I'm a man, okay? And I changed things to quote unquote make me a woman, which you can't do. You can't make yourself the opposite sex. You can't make yourself something that you're not. So I do this, and I understand I may think because I had to make changes to my body to quote unquote make me a woman. So already that probably makes me feel worse, because I realize, I'm not really what I want to be. This is a problem that is solely based on feelings. People are these people are mentally unwell, and it is a serious problem, because you have young people. You're doing something to your body that's not meant to be done to your body. You're doing something completely unnatural to your body. You really think that's going to work out in the long run? It's just absolute garbage. This is not fixing the problem. This is a problem in the mind. It's not the body. And there are so many other problems with this. Let's just talk about dating. Let's say I meet a girl. Or let's say whatever sex you are, you meet the opposite sex. And you think, okay, this person's kind of cute. I kind of like them. We have good rapport. We have great conversations. They're physically attractive to me. I'm physically attractive to them. And then you come to find out one day that they say, I'm trans. Instantly, your mindset changes. People may say, oh, no, it won't change for me. No, it does. Because you biologically have natural urges to be attracted to a specific thing. You may be heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, whatever. Okay? But you have a natural physical attraction. And then that you come to find out that they are not that thing that you thought they were. that's going to raise some questions in yourself. You're going to be like, okay, do I really like this person? You're just not going to be attracted to them. Me personally, I would be like, yeah, no. This is over. Because at the end of the day, if I look at a girl who is actually a guy, at the end of the day, I'm like, this person is a part of the brotherhood. They're not a woman. They're part of the brotherhood, and they want to be a girl, but they are not a girl. I'm instantly turned off. These are serious problems. And you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't. Gender reassignment surgery is not, and hormone therapy isn't the answer. It's not, because you're focusing, you're trying to solve the symptom, not the problem. Okay, now I look like what I want to be. I'm still not that thing. I'm still XX or XY. This just leads to so many problems. This really does. It's really sad to see. I'm not gonna go through the full article, but I'm gonna tell you, this is just not good. This isn't good. We have to come to a point, and we have to have an honest conversation with ourselves, where we ask ourselves, is this really the answer? Is this really the answer? Because remember, this is a problem of the mind. You may not think it is, but it is. Because these ideas and these thoughts and these feelings start in the head. That's what we need to focus on. That is the number one thing that we got to look at. So I don't really know how else we can go from here. I mean, this is just really not good for society. You know, I'm going to keep going a little bit. Charlie detransitioned and went public with her story last year, and she said she was stunned by the number of people who she discovered in a similar position. I'm in communication with 19 and 20-year-olds. 19 and 20-year-olds who have had full gender reassignment surgery who wish they hadn't, and their dysphoria hasn't been relieved and they don't feel better for it. Because it's an internal problem. It's not an external problem. You can't have it's a paradigm thing. You have to start on the inside. You have to start with the mind. You have to get the mind needs to be in the right place. That's what it needs to be. You're taking hormones from outside of the body and putting them into my body. So you're using an external source to change an internal problem. You're taking tools for surgery to change my body and to cut off breasts, mutilate genitalia. You're using external sources to fix an internal problem. That's not it. These people are mentally unwell. These people, I'm going to be real. These people may try to fool you and say, oh, mentally I'm good. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm all of that. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you are in an unnatural state. That's not the way things are supposed to be. If you are XY, You're a guy. You're a man. You're a male. And putting on clothes and, adding hormones to make yourself something, to try and make yourself something that you're not, because at the end of the day, you're not that thing. You're a poser. Trans men aren't men. Trans women aren't women. You're not. You want to be that thing, but you're not. This is a mental issue. This is a problem of that is in the mind. It's a problem that's in the brain. The answer isn't hormones. I know I keep repeating myself, but this is something that just really bothers me because here's the thing, because the indoctrination concerning this is starting with young kids who are growing up, and they are, some of them are raised without gender, some of them are raised as the opposite gender. We have this garbage idea that gender is a social construct, and it's like, my God, where'd you come up with that one? Which holds no water at all. And it's just absolute garbage. And you have these young kids, 2, 3, 4, being raised in confusing ways, and children are very smart. Their brains are always learning. But if they're learning the wrong things, they're in the wrong environments, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be like, okay, they're gonna be like 6 or 7, and say, okay, mommy, daddy, if they're a boy, they're gonna say, I want to be a girl. What? And then they get the surgery, and then they hit 8, 9, and it could even be just a few months later where they're like, okay, that was a bad idea, I want to go back. You can't go back like that, because you've already done the damage to your body. You've done things to your body that are not supposed to be done to your body. You're not supposed to cut off healthy breasts. You're not supposed to cut off a healthy penis. You're not supposed to do these things to your body. This is just not a good road for us to be going down as a society. We have to be very, very careful. This is not good. This is not good at all. In the article, it says they don't know what their options are now. Well, their options are very limited. Because you want to detransition. So you already went through so here's the thing. You were in your natural state. You did an artificial transition, and you went through an unnatural process to make you feel and make you look like the other thing, which you're still not. Now you want to reverse the transition. You want to reverse the unnatural process. So you want to go through another unnatural process to bring you, in your mind, bring you back. These people are mentally unwell. I feel sorry for these people. I really do. I don't want to judge them. I don't want to call them gross or disgusting or anything like that. It saddens me. Being up here in Sacramento, I see, it's amazing. If you don't live, there are some people who I know outside of the state. Like I was talking to Eric Prince from Marion West, who's the editor of the online publishing company, that the online publishing site where I publish my op-eds. And we were talking about, I told him, I was like, man, you come out here, you're gonna see all types of people. And he's over there in near Philadelphia. And I'm like, look, man, you'll see, just you come to Sacramento you come to my school for like 30 minutes. you will see more trans people in 30 minutes than you will have seen in your entire life. And he's older than me, obviously. And it's just, it's a very regional thing, but it's just amazing. Like, it's like I'm seeing so many people that are trans. And it's like, where are these people coming from? And it's just really sad to see. There are cross-dressers. It's really sad. It is really sad. And it really hurts my heart. It really hurts me to see things like this, because these people are suffering. It is suffering. Like, mentally, you're unwell because you are in an unnatural state. You have done things to your body that are not supposed to be done to your body. I use this all the time. If you want to cut off a perfectly healthy arm, you're delusional, and you're mentally unwell. If you want to cut off a perfectly healthy leg, you're unwell. I told you about Nick O'Halloran. He's a guy who thinks he's an amputee trapped inside of a regular body. He doesn't believe I want to say it's his right leg. He doesn't believe his right leg is his. He thinks it's not his. He thinks he's an amputee, but he's not. And he's trying to find people where it's like, okay, will you do the surgery? No. He goes somewhere else. Will you do the surgery? Get out of my office. If you want to cut off a healthy ear, you're mentally unwell. But if you want to do stuff to your genitalia, they're just transgender. No, they're not. It's just really sad to see. I've taken this topic as far as I can go right here. It really just, it devastates me. It devastates me. Okay. This is from the Daily Wire, from Saturday. No men allowed hotel opens in Spain. Some of you already know where I'm going to go with this. Actually, I could go. You know what? I'm just going to start here. I'm going to tie in the last topic. So we talk about transgenders. This place, it's only for women. So if I were to go to this hotel and I say, I would like a room, please, and they say no men allowed, and I said, oh, so you're judging me by my appearance? I'm a woman. They wouldn't know what to do. You know why? Because I'm clearly a man, and they would be like, so you're identifying as a woman? I mean, this is just so garbage. It's just absolutely garbage. Because you look at this and you're like, okay, well, I mean, we don't want to discriminate. I mean, and with the rules of society that we had. Now, mind you, this is in Spain. This is not the United States. But it's like, okay, with the way we are as a society, and you say, okay, you can be whatever you want to be. It's just based off how you feel. If it's based off how you feel, then this wouldn't hold up. I don't know. This just isn't good. And I'm gonna take it a step further. And this is something that the article goes into. What if it was a no women allowed hotel? Can you imagine the outrage? She says the exact same thing. She says the exact same thing down here. What is it? Where is it? Here we go. One also knows that if a hotel were to open boasting that it was for men only, the feminist outrage mob would descend upon it like wolves upon sheep. It would be harangued for its discrimination, rightly so. But such anger is not being given to the women-only hotel, which instead is being celebrated by media outlets and covered in a positive light. Meanwhile, modern outraged feminists claim women are oppressed in the civilized world. Here are more double standards. I can't imagine someone saying imagine a men's only bar. People say, oh, there's a gay bar. No, women can go into gay bars. That's a real thing. There are some women who I know, they say that gay bars are way more fun because the guys aren't trying to hit on them. So that kind of goes in you say a gay bar is a men's only bar. It's not. But I mean this is just a double standard. It's just an absolute double standard. Women, I'm going to say this. I'm going to ask this. I hear women say, and sometimes you have the male feminists, which is absolute garbage, and they say, women want equality. I always ask this, and I never get an answer. When you say equality, what does that mean? I never get an answer. Because I personally don't believe that women want equality. Do you want to be drafted? Are you going to work more dangerous jobs? I mean, I believe what women want. Women in the civilized world believe that they are oppressed. And you're not. You're not. If you live in America, you're not oppressed, okay? I'm just going to say that. I've given many examples as to why that's not the case in past episodes. But we look at this, and women just want to pick and choose what they want. They say, oh, we want higher wages. We want to get rid of the gender wage gap, which doesn't exist. It's just this. Women don't want the same thing. I remember I asked a woman that. I remember I asked her. She was like, women should be allowed. Women should have equality in this society. I just straight up asked her. I said, "Do you want to be drafted?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, as men, when we turn 18, we have to register with the Selective Service. That way, so if there's a war, we can be drafted. And she said, "I don't want that." I said, "Well, there it is. There it is." And now, mind you, that is one woman. That is just one example. But this isn't a buffet. And still, just explain, when you say equality, what do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean. In all honesty, I mean, you can call me ignorant and all of that. I don't really care. But when you say, okay, we want to be treated and seen equally and seen the same way, you won't be seen the same way because you're not the same as men. We don't see men as women. We don't see women as men. We're both necessary. We're equal. We need each other. Men need women. Women need men. We need each other. I mentally don't understand. And I'm gonna be real. Share this episode, and if you just do this. Just explain to me what women mean, or I should say specifically feminists. What do feminists mean when they say we want equality? Because I'm gonna be honest, and you can make fun of me. I don't care. But I don't know what that means. I don't understand. I think women are absolutely truly incredible. We need us guys, we need you. You women need us guys. I don't understand. I mentally, I don't comprehend it. I don't comprehend it. You know, women, I don't know. I don't know. Because I look at this, and, you know, sometimes, you know, you guys will talk about, you know, don't objectify. There are some women who are like, you know, don't objectify me. They'll say that to men while they're wearing these low-cut tops where you can see right down their shirt. And I talked about this in one of my op-eds and other podcast episodes. And then you have women in booty shorts where nothing is really left to the imagination. Here's what I don't think women quite understand this about men. Men are we're wired to be visual. We are visual creatures by nature. That's why we love porn so much, collectively, because it's such a visual thing, and it's really just incredible to us. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. So ladies, when you walk out and, you know, your chest is exposed, you know, we can see your boobs, and then your butt is outside of your shorts, and you're wearing a midriff and all of that, and you're looking really good. What do you want us guys to do? We're not thinking of raping you. That's not what we're thinking of. We're not like, man, you know, when she, you know, just when she's about to get into her car, you know, I'm really gonna get her. No, we're not doing that. We look and we're like, we like what we see. We like what we see. And it's like, there are certain clothes designed to do certain things. A low-cut top is designed. It is one of the reasons it was designed was so we can see your boobs. That's one of the reasons for the shirt. So when you say don't objectify me, it's like, okay, you first of all, let's just say we objectify you. Before we objectify you, you objectify yourself. You know why? Because first you look at the shirt and it piques your interest. You're like, okay, I kind of like this. I kind of like the way this looks on the rack. And then what do? You go into the dressing room. You take it into the dressing room, you try it on, you put it on, you look in the mirror, and you're like, well, I'll be damned, I look pretty good. You come out, you know, you're with your girlfriend, and you're like, how do I look? And they're like, you look pretty, you're looking good. And then what do? You take it off, you put your other thing back on, whatever you had on. You go to the register, you buy the shirt. Or whatever article of clothing. And then, so you have already examined yourself. You've already examined yourself before we do. So you look at your body, you go home, you put it in the closet, and you women, you tend to do more planning for your outfits and stuff like that. And so one day you're like, you know what? I'm gonna do that new outfit that I bought. You put it on. You already know you look good in it. You put it on, you walk out the door, you come across a guy looks at you, and it's like, well, she looks physically appealing. And then you get mad when we look at you. And we look down your shirt. Which, that's part of the reason for the shirt. Here's what we need to understand about clothes. We wear clothes for other people. That's what clothes are for. We wear clothes for other people. We wear clothes to draw attention. We wear clothes to look good. We wear clothes so that we can draw attention, and we find clothes that are fitting, that are flattering for us, that make us look better, that make us look good. You don't see people who deliberately buy unflattering clothes and consistently wear them. Those people either have no sense of fashion or really don't get looked at by men or women. We buy clothes so that way we can look good. We want to look good. So when we look at these things and we talk, that's just one thing that gets me, that just really bothers me. And it bothers us men. It's like, okay, so you don't want attention. It's like, it feels good to be appreciated for how you look. Now, we're not saying that's the only thing that we look for. We're not saying we only look at your looks. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of great looking women out there. There's a ton. I can throw a rock out my window right now and hit a good looking woman. We look at other qualities, but looks is primary, because that's the first thing when we see someone, the first thing we notice is their appearance. That's the first thing we notice. We don't know their name. We don't know their personality. We don't know if they're smart. We don't know if they're stupid. We don't know if they have AIDS. We don't know anything about this person. The first thing we notice when we see someone is their appearance. And even when you know the person, the first thing you notice is their appearance. You notice what they're wearing. You notice how they're dressed. You look at their shoes. You look at their hair. You look at their clothes. You look at all of those things. Appearance matters. So don't God, ladies, don't talk about how we just objectify you when you're the one who put the clothes on in the first place. You do it before we get a chance to. Part of the reason you buy a certain piece of clothing is so you can look good. You want to look good. And when you look good, part of the consequences of looking good, and remember, consequence just means outcome. It just has a negative connotation. But one of the consequences of looking good is people look at you. You may get some compliments. I was talking to one of my friends the other day in my Spanish class. We were sitting in her car, and I was just talking about how I'm not really one of those guys who can just go up to any girl and just start a conversation with her just because she's good looking. And, she kind of told me, she was like, oh, you should just try going up and complimenting them on their outfit. And I told her that I wasn't comfortable doing that. One, because of the society that we live in. There are many women who I see where it's just like, wow, they're really well put together, and what they're wearing, it's very flattering to them. But I don't want it to be like, oh, you're objectifying me, or you're just looking at me. I don't know you. Why are you even looking at me? I have no idea who you are. I have come across that. Not often. But I just told her, I said, I only pay compliments to women that I know and that I have a reason, that I've built up rapport with. I'm not just going to go up to a woman that I've never seen before, and just because she's looking good, I just compliment her. I'm not going to do that. To me, I told her, I was like, I need to have a reason to talk to you. I need to have talked to you multiple times. I need to have good rapport with you. And I need the woman to know who I kind of am, as a person. I need them to know what I'm like. So that way they're like, okay, this guy's not a crazy person. I know who he is. He's not just some random dude. He's a guy that I know. He's it's Solomon. I'm cool with him. And then I'm comfortable complimenting. But it's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm just very curious. I'm very curious. When you women say we want to be treated equally, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Like are you saying that you want to be seen the exact same way that men are seen? Because that's not going to happen, because you're not a man. Like, you're not. We're different. We're not better. We're not worse. We're just different. We're not going to see you the way we see. That's not how it works. I'm going to ask women. Women, do you see your guy friends the same way you see your girlfriends? Or forget friends, just do you see women the same way you see men? Do you see men the same way you see women? And the answer is no, you don't. I'm just call me ignorant. Call me ignorant. If you want to, honestly, if you want to break it down for me, go right ahead. Go right ahead, because I'm serious. I'm clueless on this. I've never gotten an answer. The closest answer, the one, I remember one answer I got, where I asked, they were just like, "Oh, you're a guy, you wouldn't understand anyway." And I was like, "What does that mean?" I don't know. I'm done with the story. I didn't really talk about the story that much, but it's just the double standard that we have. I can't imagine the outrage that we would have today of a men's only hotel. I can't. I mean, dear Lord, I can't imagine that outrage that would happen. I can't do it. All right, this next story is let me just read it. This is from Fox News. Michigan boy 12 burned in, quote, fire challenge, end quote, game, mom says. A 12-year-old Michigan boy is suffering from severe burns after partaking in the fire challenge, and his mother is speaking out in an effort to warn other parents. Jason Cleary of Dearborn Heights was playing with a friend on September 28th when his mother, Tabitha Cleary, heard screaming. So he came running out, and we saw that his friend Bryce riding him on the bike with no shirt on. Cleary told WDIV TV, "I started to freak out. Take him to the hospital. I'm crying. He's crying." She said the 12-year-old boy suffered burns on his chin, chest, and stomach after he was sprayed with nail polish remover and lit on fire. Okay. You know what? At some point, I ask this again. When are we held responsible? I'm going to tell you this. This is just stupid. Parents, I'm going to say this. If your kid does this, I don't think this is a reflection on you. Because I'm going to say this. Everything that a child does is not a reflection on the parent. It's not. Okay? It's not. And everything that the child does is not is not because of the parent. Okay? But this right here, this is just stupid. This is stupid. What are you doing? I mean, who, like, think about this. They sat down and they thought about this. They said, you're going to be on a bike. This is what they said. This is what they said. Just listen how stupid this sounds. You're going to be on a bike. You're going to be shirtless. I'm going to spray you with nail polish remover, and I'm going to light you on fire. What? I mean, that is just... No, I don't feel sorry for this kid. This is just stupid. Jason told the news outlet the first time he was set on fire, the flame was little and they swatted it off. Why would you even try this? This is the best idea you've got? I mean, think, how bored can you be? How bored can you be that this is the best idea that you've got? Play some video games if you're gonna be this stupid. The boy isn't the first child to participate in this dangerous craze. A 12-year-old girl in Detroit was left with 49% of her body burned in August 2018 after playing the challenge. I've never even heard of this garbage. Her mother told WJBK at the time that the girl was hanging out with two friends at her house when she became engulfed in flames after apparently mimicking a video she saw on YouTube. Oh, we ain't gonna make it. You know, I don't want to tell kids stay off the internet. I don't want to do that. Because here's the thing. You're 12, you're 13. We are now in an age where if you are born, you don't know what it's like to be without internet. You don't know what it's like. Unless you're Amish. Okay? But you have a situation here where you look at this and you say, bro, it's just like, you know, who thinks this is a good idea? I mean, you're gonna get some laughs because just like, that was kind of funny. This is just stupid. So, this is one of those, as I've said earlier, we're the most educated generation ever. But we're also the most stupid. I mean, this is just stupid. Another child, 13-year-old Maya Landers, was also burned around the same time after accidentally being lit on fire by a friend. I just want everybody to know that these challenges or whatever they are watching on YouTube is not worth risking your life, Cleary said. I mean, my son got burned 2nd degree and could have been way, way worse. I'm going to say this. Parents, you're still trying to learn you're still trying to learn social media. You're still trying to understand what it really is. Let me tell you something about this. Challenges like this, they go like this. There's a new one like every day, every week, every month. There's always some new stupid challenge. You can't keep up. I'm 20. I've never even heard of this. I have no idea what they could have possibly been watching. But remember, YouTube is just an absolute rabbit hole. You don't know what you're gonna... If you just do autoplay and you just watch YouTube for 24 hours, do you know where you're gonna be from minute 0 to hour number 24? Like, do you understand what you'll be watching? You may start with a video about Trump, and then at hour 24 you'll be learning how to talk to a zebra. I don't know. But these challenges, they happen all the time, and this is just stupid. This is just absolutely stupid. At some point, yes, he's 12. Yes, they were 13. But, the first thing you're taught It's kind of a cliche. Don't play with fire. Don't play with fire. That's like one of the first lessons of life. Be careful around sharp objects. Don't run with scissors. Don't throw knives. Don't talk with food in your mouth. There are certain lessons that you learn at an early age where it's just inexcusable. You know that fire burns. That's something you learn very quickly just watching your parents cook. You may not understand all the chemistry and all the details, but fire is hot. It's really hot. It's probably something that I shouldn't put on my body or be around. Unless I need to be around it for like cooking purposes or like a campfire. And if I'm at a campfire, I stay a safe distance away. This is just stupid. I don't feel, I'm going to say this. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad Jason is okay. I really am. But I don't feel sorry for this kid at all. That's just stupid. Here's the thing. You realize this one kid said, I'm not going to be set on fire. I'm going to set you on fire. It's kind of like a riot. It's kind of like riot and looting and stuff like that. Or after, I remember when the Lakers would win championships. Dear God, that was almost, a decade ago. Wow, that kind of put me in a sad mood. But it's like when they would win championships, people would flip over cars. They would never flip over their car. They'd flip over someone else's car. They'd break someone else's window. They'd punch somebody else in the face. They wouldn't do things to themselves. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to say this. If you're going to do these challenges, I ask you this. Will it humans naturally don't like pain. They don't like pain. And so I'm just going to say this. Just as a general rule, if you see something and I guess you think it looks cool, ask yourself, will this physically hurt me? Could this physically hurt me? If the answer is yes, or possibly, just don't do it. I mean, this is just so dumb. This is so dumb. I can't even believe let me go back. I can't believe that this is a thing. She said the 12-year-old boy suffered burns on his chin, chest, and stomach after he was sprayed with nail polish remover. Why would you even want to be sprayed with nail polish remover? Acetone doesn't smell good. And lit on fire. Wow. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That's just so stupid. That is so asinine. Why would you do something where you could physically... Okay, here's the thing about burns. First of all, they're not attractive. Let's just do this. It's something where it's like, okay, physically you're just not, you're not going to look your best anymore. You're not. Man, this is so, sprayed with nail polish remover and lit on fire. Oh my God. That's just idiotic. You're an idiot. You are an idiot if you think that is fun. You're just an absolute idiot if you think that's fun. Why would you even try that? Of all the possible things that you could have done, how about you just ride your bike normally, like a normal person has done for centuries now. Just ride your bike like a normal person. Just be. I don't get it. I mean, how could someone be this stupid. I mean, 12, you understand the dangers of fire. You're not 12 days old. You're not 12 weeks old. You're not 12 months. You're not a year old. You're 12 years old. You know what fire is. You know what it does. That's just stupid. That's just absolutely stupid. Get a hobby.